The only time you should spend that much time on a social media platform is if you're actually doing what? Right, if you're actually making money. What's up world, welcome back to my channel. Vladdy B here, and today I want to talk to you about 5 habits that have changed my life, and not only my life but also the life of many other people, really successful people. So before we start, let me just mention one thing. We are all extremely busy these days. Everybody says how busy you are, but if you actually look at the things that you do throughout the day, you might find out that you're not as busy as you think you are. We all feel that we are so busy because we have all this social media going on. We have the Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that kind of stuff is just stealing time from us. And then at the end of the day, we all feel like we've just been so busy and don't have time for anything else, when in reality we just spend it all on our phone, and that is extremely not productive. So instead of doing that, I challenge you to give up on some of those bad habits, on those time wasters, and replace that behavior with something more useful, more productive, and that's going to be much more beneficial for you in the long term. Also, check out the video up there where I'm talking about how habits are being formed in the first place, and then you can combine the knowledge you're going to get from this video with the knowledge you're going to get from the other video, and you'll be able to form some really good habits. By the way, don't mind my hat, I'm having another bad hair day. Number 1 habit that everybody should have, no matter how much you hate it or love it, is to read and study. Always be learning new stuff. The reason that habit is extremely important is because you can actually increase your own value, your market value, how much you're worth, because this one helps you grow, continuously grow. Give you an example. Let's say you're working in industry, any industry, and you're getting paid $15 an hour, and you're consistently learning, reading, talking to people in the industry who are experts to learn more things. I guarantee you that same time next year you will be worth much more than you're worth today. You will be worth much more than $15 an hour. You're going to be worth $20, if not more, and you will be able to ask for a raise, or if your employer doesn't appreciate you, find a job somewhere else where they're gonna appreciate your level of knowledge, experience, and expertise. And you do all that just by simply continuously learning new skills within your industry. Increasing your market value translates to you making more money. Second habit is extremely important as well. I mean, they all are extremely important, but I just keep emphasizing that they're super important, and it is actually time management. Time management actually ensures that you have time for all the other habits. And that's what I was talking about in the very beginning of this video, when I mentioned that a lot of us spend a lot of time on social media thinking we're super busy, when in reality we're not as busy as we think we are. Here's a cool thing. My phone, which is a Galaxy phone, actually has a feature that tracks down how much time I spend on each and every single app that is installed on my phone, including a feature of limiting how much time you can spend on each app. So for example, when I first found that feature, I went and I set a limit on how much I use Snapchat, and I only use Snapchat really to talk to my friends, to answer messages, and sometimes send a quick photo. So I set a limit for myself for 1 hour of Snapchat per day. Next thing you know, I get a notification saying that I'm almost out of my 1 hour of Snapchat for that day, and I only have 10 minutes left. And that was an eye-opener. I didn't even realize how all those quick messages back and forth add up to a whole hour of my day, and some days even more. First half of the day I spent almost an hour on Snapchat. Even if you're just going on there looking quickly through pictures, it's 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there, it adds up. And Instagram kills even more of your time, because now you're watching 1 minute long videos one after the other. Facebook is terrible too. You're watching all those posts, you keep scrolling and scrolling. You watch one video, that video takes you to another video and another video, and it's just a never-ending loop. And in the end of the day, you've just spent 3 to 5 hours on social media. That was a complete waste of time. Now, let me tell you this. The only time you should spend that much time on a social media platform is if you're actually doing what? Right, if you're actually making money. If you're making money, then it's your job. It's normal for you to spend that much money. If you're an influencer, if you're a model, if you're doing something that makes you money on social media, then it makes sense. But if you're not making money and you're just aimlessly scrolling, liking pictures, reading comments, then this is not for you. You have to get out. You have to stop wasting your time on that. And instead of all those hours you spend on social media, use them to learn, to study, to read, or even just simply spend it with your loved ones. Spend more time with your family instead of being stuck on your phone all the time. Play with your kids if you have kids. Spend time with your parents if you have parents. Third habit you should have is self-discipline. Self-discipline is actually a habit. If you're telling yourself that you're going to do something, it is self-discipline that makes you actually go out and do it. If you lack self-discipline, you're not going to do it. You let it slip once, you let it slip twice, and next thing you know, you never do it in the first place at all, ever. And that is the biggest killer of all success. You cannot be successful if you're not disciplined enough to actually follow through with the work that needs to be done. If you do something once a month or once a week, that doesn't add up to anything. If you read a page a week, that doesn't do anything. If you read a page a day, now that's 7 pages a week. Now that's a book every few months. It's not enough, but it's much better than reading, 1 page a month, 1 page a week. That's just nothing. The reason self-discipline is so difficult is because most of the time, the things that we know that we have to do or need to do, there's nobody keeping us accountable. Nobody's actually watching us. There is no boss, there is no teacher, and sometimes no parents that will tell us, okay, have you done this and this and that? Have you read your couple pages today? Because you're now a grown-up. It's now up to you, and you have to keep yourself accountable, and there's nobody else that will help you with that. And so if nobody else is keeping you accountable, by you skipping this day, nobody's gonna find out, so it's not such a big deal. And so you let it slide again and again and again, and then next thing you know, you find yourself 10, 20 years later with nothing to show for it, because you get stuck in your comfort zone. And trust me, I've seen people go through mid-age crisis when they're 30, 40, 50 and nothing to show for, no money in their bank account, saved up, no investments, no properties, nothing, and still working 9 to 5. And so they go through this mid-age crisis, and it's not because they're 30, 40, 50. It's not because they're older. It's because they're older and have nothing to show for it. So they understand deep inside that they just wasted their life, and you cannot get this time back. So if you're younger and you're watching this, don't waste your time, because time has no mercy. If you're 15, in 10 years you're going to be 25. If you're 25, in 10 years you're going to be 35. 35, in 10 years you're going to be 45, and so on. Obviously, it's simple math. It's not even math. It's just common sense. Time does not wait. We are not immortal. So make sure you spend your time wisely. So discipline yourself not to make any excuses and actually do the things that you tell yourself that you need to do. For example, if you tell yourself you're going to go to the gym 3 times this week, then make sure you go to the gym three times this week. Plan it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Whatever it is, just don't skip. Don't let it slide. Because by allowing you to slide, you get into the habit of not doing it. And if you don't practice self-discipline, it becomes weaker. And the weaker it is, the harder it is for you to do important things. Habit number 4 is to create a self-management system. Again, they're all tied up with one another. Everything is related to one another. Self-management system allows you to see where you are, where you're headed, and what have you achieved so far. Basically, like keeping track of your progress and setting some deadlines so that you can later on look back and see, okay, this year I was planning on achieving 1, 2, 3, and I have only achieved 1, or I have achieved 2, or all 3, which is great, or maybe nothing at all. The best way to do the self-management thing is to actually find someone who you respect, really respect, to keep you accountable. Remember I mentioned how these days when we are grown-ups, we don't have the boss or the teacher or the parent to keep us accountable, to keep telling us to do stuff. But there is a hack for that. We can actually get a person, but it can't be just your friend or someone that you don't really care for too much. It has to be a person that you really, really respect and would hate to lose their respect. And then you find that person, you tell that person, this is my goal, and that's when I'm gonna achieve it, that's my deadline. And now because you told that person, in your head, you don't want to disappoint them. So you're gonna make sure you do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. Because you told them about it, and now they're expecting you to finish it. And because you know that, subconsciously you're going to make sure that it's done. And that's how you keep yourself accountable, by getting someone else involved in this accountability system. The trick here is to really choose that person wisely. Like I said, make sure it's someone you really respect and would hate to lose respect for, or would really hate for them to lose respect for you. You actually want them to respect you more by showing them that you are capable of achieving whatever it is. You're actually doing whatever you say you do. That way people respect you. If you say I'm gonna do this and this and that, and you've done none of that, people start losing respect. They don't trust you anymore. Like, this guy always talks shit, but he never actually does whatever he's talking about. On the other hand, if you're a person that always does what they promise to do, then people look at you with respect and they say, this guy, if he said he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. If he says he's gonna go to the gym today, he's gonna go to the gym today. Otherwise, how are you gonna get stronger? Only by going to the gym. Only consistency gets you there. Last but not least, consistency. Consistency is something that I keep saying over and over again, and in a lot of my videos I keep saying you have to be consistent. Consistency is the only thing that helps you achieve results. Without consistency, you can't get anywhere. Well, let's say you want to play the guitar. If you pick up the guitar once, you strum it a couple times and you put it back down and it's laying there for a month, are you ever going to learn? Probably not. On the other hand, if you pick up the guitar every single day and you spend 30 to 45 minutes practicing it, I assure you that within a month, you're going to be way better than the person who only picked it up once. It's common sense, right? That's what I'm trying to get to. It's common sense. If you want to learn a new language and you're not really learning, you're just like maybe picking up a word here and there, you're not going to learn that language. But if you're consistent and if every single day you spend 10, 15, 20 minutes trying to learn that language, after a month you will find out that you can actually have a small talk. After 2-3 months, you can have a longer, nicer conversation, richer conversation, and maybe after a year or two, you will be able to fluently speak to someone. And that's amazing. It's amazing how much we can achieve by just being consistently doing it. I remember when I was learning how to drive stick. I bought this car, I didn't know how to drive it, I hated myself for buying it because like, why the hell would I buy it? I somehow got it home. I stalled at almost every red light, but I still brought it home and I had no choice. I now paid money for it, I couldn't return it, so I kept trying and trying and trying and trying, and after about a week or two I was getting more comfortable. After a month I probably stopped thinking about which gear to shift into and when to press the pedals, and now after many years of practice, even if I don't drive standard for a few months and you give me a standard car, I'll start it and I'll drive no problem because I've been consistently learning to do that. But if I only tried it once and then someone gives me that car, I will suck at it. I'll probably stall. I won't even be able to move it. Long story short, be consistent at whatever it is you do and you will inevitably be successful at it. Unless you're doing something dumb, then you should probably stop right there and go find something else to do and then be consistent at that instead. Thank you guys for watching. Give me one of those and definitely help me out by becoming a subscriber, because that would really help me out and my channel to grow. And hopefully you also enjoy the content. Check out some other videos, leave some comments below with your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.